Hi betting experts, on Friday the 9th of April, day 2 at Aintree, perfect ground conditions, good soft in places, another top class day of action. We start off with the 145, the Pertemps Network Handicap Hurdle, 2 mile 4 grade 3 class 1, 4-year-olds and upwards, £31,500 on offer, a really strong pace on the cards, and I think that'll set things up perfectly for Edwardstone. Now he's beginning to look a little bit exposed over hurdles. He's won 3 from 8. He's a hard puller who needs settling. He's found his level. He's run 2 blinders in some of the best handicap hurdles this season. At Newbury, went 3rd of 23 in the Betfair Hurdle in February, behind Soaring Glory, and then from £2 higher, he ran another Stormer win 5th behind Belfast Banter in the County Hurdle. Watch the run back. Tom Cannon was probably too far back, but there wasn't a lot he could do. The horse made relentless headway from the home turn to finish strongly. I think this 2 mile 4 trip at Aintree will be well within his compass. He's run at Aintree once before over 2 mile 1 back in December 2019. He pulled far too hard and still won, beating Harry Senior. It was a remarkable run. He's more settled now. They'll go a right gallop. The good grounds come in his favour. He looks bound to give his running and go close. I think the move is to play each way 4 places. It could be more on offer, but the bookmakers tend to go out of their way to try and attract custom, so shop around and look for bookmakers paying the extra places. Edwardstone always gives his running, and I think he'll go close here. The 220, this is our betting expert nap on the day. Dusart of Nicky Henderson, expected to land this Betway top novice hurdler, grade 1 over 2 miles. He was really impressive back in November at Newbury when beating Soaring Glory, who's gone on to win the Betfair Hurdle. He barely came off the bridle there, sprinting clear under a confident ride, looking a top class prospect. Now, the negative is he has had a setback since then, which meant he's missed 5 months. Nicky Henderson originally thought he was going to miss the whole of the season, but he's got him back. He's working really well again. I don't think he'd risk him if he wasn't A1, and the goodish ground's going to be ideal for him. I think he'll outclass this lot. He came with a big price tag, but he looks money well spent. I think he's going to be a top-class grade 1 performer next season, and he can take this before resting for the rest of the year. The 250, the Betway Mildmay Novice Chase. This is our betting expert value angle on the day. 3 mile grade 1 class 1 5-year-olds and upwards, 42 grand they're chasing. I like Esprada Rome. He's fresh. He's missed Cheltenham. He's 2 from 3 over fences. Won at Huntingdon and Leicester in warm company. He steps up in class here. I think the key is 3 miles on good ground, exactly what he wants. He's a very sound jumper. David Bass likely to be positive. I'm not mad on Chantry House at all. I think he's one to oppose. I'm not sure he'll stay, and I thought the race he won at Cheltenham was a poor one after the favourite fell, and he didn't look to be travelling that well at any stage. He just put his head down and scrambled home up the hill. But for me, he's a horse with issues, and I think he has a very vulnerable look in this race. So I'm going to go for Esprada Rome to improve for the step up to 3 miles for the first time. The 325, the Mars Chase, registered as the Melling Chase, another really cracking grade 1 contest. This over 2 mile, 3 furlong, 200 yards. Valuable, over £104,000 on offer. I think Master Tommy Tucker screams Aintree. He's a really good jumper, despite all those mishaps earlier in his career. He fell 3 times, incredibly, because he's a sound jumper. It was just sort of a lapse in concentration. He's had a really good season, starting off at Newton Abbott back in October 2020. He's won 3 times since then. He was impressive at Huntingdon, Haydock and at Kempton. There was nothing wrong with his second last time out behind Dashel Drasher. That one is almost impossible to beat at Ascot, and he travelled really strongly, I thought. The drop back in trip, no issue. He'll love good ground. He's been freshened up by 7 weeks off. Sam Twiston Davis takes over. I think he'll go really close, 4-1, a more than fair price. The 405, the Topham, a real historic handicap chase, 2 mile 5 grade 3 class 1, 58,000 to the winner. Bookmakers going 6-1 the field. I've long had Morning Vicar in the notebook. He screams spring ground handicapper. He's going to love this flat track. He was disappointing at Cheltenham, but he got Nico de Boinville there. In truth, he's been ridden by Nico all of his career, incredibly. He's run 12 times and de Boinville's been up every time. Well, you got James Bowen up today. That is a huge jockey uplift in my opinion. He loves decent ground. He'll get a more circumspect ride, I suspect. He's a real sound jumper. All of his best runs have been on good ground, and I think he's well handicapped here if everything clicks. He's double figures, 10-1 for Looking this morning. I think that's a fair price. The 440, the Doombar Sefton Novice Hurdle, 3 mile, grade 1, class 1, 4-year-olds and upwards, 42 grand on offer. This is a real good opportunity for Gallyhill to prove that Ascot defeat all wrong. He's got a huge price tag after winning his point in 2019. He landed long odds on at Newbury, unimpressively in January, but he then stepped up when second behind Midnight River at Ascot, a race he really should have won. Poorly ridden and tapped for pace at the wrong time, but running on really strongly from the last. He screams 3 mile chaser. He's up in trip here. He's had a huge price tag, a big reputation. He'll love this decent ground. I think he'll go really well, and he's a fair price. Looking at the markets this morning, I think he's around 8-1. That's very fair. The 5:15 to finish off the Pinsent Masons Handicap Hurdle, 2 miles for conditional jockeys and amateur riders. A really valuable handicap. £19,500 on offer to the winner. I've long been told that Campround was held in high regard at home by Philip Hobbs. He proved promising on his debut at Huntingdon behind Glory and Honour in a really good maiden hurdle there, and then bombed out altogether at Sedgefield where he pulled far too hard under Richard Johnson. But after a 91-day break at Taunton in a warm maiden hurdle, he was really impressive, despite doing plenty wrong, by the way, pulling hard, making mistakes, but getting past Defining Battle, who was stable nap for the Skeltons that day, and front runner, a really good pace. Campround, I thought, was an alarmingly impressive performance to still win. He now goes handicapping off 125. I think they'll be mortified if he gets beat with a clean round of jumping, and he's a confident recommendation to finish off Friday at Aintree. Best of luck, betting experts.